Welcome to World's Best Dad Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Christian.
And I'm Jimmy.
And today we have a legendary friend.
Legendary friend, Bob Scratch Goldfarb.
Bob Scratch Goldfarb.
The God-given name, right?
Yeah.
Your parents' name.
That's on my license.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You have the world's best
got
dad. Yes. So we got him in the bus.
Yeah.
So world's best dad, was it because world's greatest dad? I made a movie, World's Greatest
We
Dad.
know this. Yeah, we know this.
And were you afraid of me being litigious?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We were like, we can't
We've
call
heard
it
about your
World's
legal
Greatest
team.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My peeps would crush
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and so we just went with best. Which is,
It's Larry H. Parker, right? That's
Yeah.
your guy. Yeah.
It is like
4.5 for that one dude. Imagine what he'd get
yeah.
for.
Good
I
for
thought it was
this.
2.1 million. Wasn't it?
I thought it was
2.1?
4.5.
Yeah.
Larry
I'm
H. Parker.
I'm dreaming.
My attorney,
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but
Yeah.
his number is 2222222222.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So
We got a fax from those guys.
Yeah, World's Greatest Dad.
yeah, I'm really proud of that movie. I like that movie. It's a little dark. People say.
Wait, you made a dark film?
I don't see. That's the thing. Everybody says.
But
my
you made
stuff's
up for it
dark.
with Shakes the Clown, though.
Yeah, which
That's
is a light,
lighthearted
feel
comedy, right?
good.
Yeah.
If you see one alcoholic clown movie,
Yeah.
it's Shakes.
It's kind of like a documentary, though.
Now Shakes it is a documentary. So Shakes,
Yeah.
because talking about dads, my
Yeah.
daughter was, I don't know how old she was, but Martin Scorsese in an interview, a guy was busting his chops saying, "You think you should preserve every movie?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "You would preserve Shakes the Clown?" And he goes, "Hey, Shakes the Clown."
He defended you.
Yeah, he's like, "That's
Yeah.
the Citizen Kane alcoholic clown movies," and he and he went on and on. And
He's not wrong.
You've seen it then, obviously.
It turns out he actually has seen it. Like he's a big fan of the movie.
He might have went to the anniversary, too.
No, but I found out like that he had like a poster and stuff.
Up
Really?
In his room at his mom's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mom,
amazing.
I'm trying to make
Mom,
Goodfellas.
make fish sticks.
So
I'm writing Goodfellas.
Or just
Yeah.
like the character in what's the when he becomes a comedian?
De Niro?
King of Comedy.
King of Comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because remember he's in the basement, Mom.
Yeah.
And so then he grows up and he hosts a show that the Joker goes on. So
Yeah, that,
So he made
that
it.
was just crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, it is kind of.
I gotta be admitting something. I haven't seen Joker yet.
Oh,
So
I saw it.
it's a
sure
little
you saw
dark.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. I don't think I was in the mood because I was like, yeah.
No, I like that. I was like, oh boy, I like this movie better when it's called Shakes the Clown. No, so my daughter. So I'm reading this article where Scorsese's defending Shakes, and
We have to find that.
and I thought it was like. I thought Tom Kenny. I thought it was like a prank, like
Yeah.
someone, did,
So
like
it was
I
a Mad Magazine
yeah,
with
like
a different cover that
Yeah,
someone handed you.
I
Hey, read
was-
this.
I was trying to see if it's smeared, and
Yeah.
and my daughter's like, "Dad, you keep reading that." I go, "Your dad's never gonna get an award. This is
Yeah.
your dad's award."
Martin Scorsese said my name. And
Yeah.
defended my movie.
Yeah, no, that
that is pretty
That's-
amazing,
yeah.
though.
Tony V auditioned for Martin Scorsese, our friend.
No way.
Yeah, who's in the Super Red video, and Martin Scorsese said, "Hey, were you in Shakes the Clown?" And he goes, and
Did he really?
Yeah, Tony calls me and goes,
That's
"Yes,
right.
I get down this reverse script, and I spend 20 minutes talking about you jackass." Like,
You should have gave him a "You're welcome."
Yeah.
Got you
So,
closer to Marty.
Marty.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How is Tony V?
Tony's great. I did a show called Misfits and Monsters.
That's
and,
right.
And
Yeah.
Tony plays Neptune in it, and he so that meant he had to get down to his Speedos and shave all the hair off him and paint him blue and put him in the Wiki-Wachi mermaid
Oh, did
park.
you go out there?
Yeah, that's where we filmed it.
Oh, man.
And then
that's
there's
amazing.
this lagoon where manatees are coming up, but there's also alligators. So there's signs this
Really?
morning, alligators. I go to the prop guy. I go, "Hey, Darren, can you take these signs down before Tony gets
Cover
here?"
them at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So they took
Put a
them
trash
down.
bag over them.
And so,
But there are actual alligators swimming around in there.
yeah.
With the mermaids.
But we didn't see them. Yeah. The mermaid said once an alligator came in during the show.
And they just...
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Fish
made
tailed
it
it
out
out
of
of
there.
there.
that was so the next day, Bridget and Bridget Everett was in it, and they're like, "Oh wow, that was just it's a lot of manatees. You know, it's weird. Manatees are endangered because they get hit by powerboats and alligators, and then
Yeah, Will Smith's boat. Yeah.
and so they go. I go, yeah. If you bring up alligators, that's when I told him I took the
And he
sign
revealed it
down.
to
him.
Yeah. He was really mad. But that's what so Tony was all blue and heavy, and so he went on and lost about 80 pounds after he saw himself as Neptune.
That'll do it.
That's
yeah.
a good
Wake up call.
incentive.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah, you
incentive.
So we need
blue.
to shave down and
Yeah,
Get in the I need
Yeah.
to.
Tony, obviously one of Bobcat's great friends, but we worked with him a long time ago
Yeah.
in the Super
Red video,
Oh, okay.
which
yeah.
Bobcat directed.
Yeah.
of
And
course.
Tony plays like a Hesher villain
Yeah.
kind of guy. Yeah.
He was like a BMX guy. And I think we
Of
painted
course.
him.
We
We colored
painted him
like
orange.
he was like orange or something, and he had
Tony
like
can't
a
catch a
mullet
break.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Oakley blades.
That's what we do.
Hey.
And he was orange.
Yeah.
I paint him, but how far are we gonna go with this? Because Tony was also the American Tourister Gorilla. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
I don't want to name drop. Yeah, that's who you're hanging out with when you're rolling with
Look at
Bob
you.
Scratch
Yeah.
Goldfarb.
Tony
BC.
V.
So he was
A-list, baby.
he was the American Tourister Gorilla, and Rick Baker had made the suit, and it was like a $20,000 gorilla suit. It had like yak hair. I don't know what it was made of, and so Tony, it was August. And he would do stand up with me, but then he would go to a mall and be like, "Hey, meet the American Tourister Gorilla." And he weighs about 260. So the suit's not with us because the suit had its own guy, it had its own cartage. Like this guy traveled, it's like Air Force 1 and 2. Like he would just show up with the
Handcuffed
suit.
with
Yeah,
the suit.
yeah, exactly. So, but his unitard is, and we were flying out of Canada, and he's been chafing, and he's putting all this baby powder in his taint. And so the security, I swear to God, this is true story. The security guy finds Tony's unitard customs while we're leaving Canada, and his sweat and his crotch had made little white rocks.
Oh.
Whoa! And with the powder?
The guy goes, he tastes it.
Oh.
And
That's nasty.
it was the best. I was
Yeah.
just like crying. I was like,
You're like, no, but yes.
No, but we didn't know. No, we both.
you didn't
We
see.
could have stopped, and we went,
Yeah.
ooh, this is gonna be good.
Oh.
I wonder if he got high from
Is there
that.
a word?
So,
Is there a word for that where you're like sweat creates
I don't know.
rocks?
Cocaine
Chain
rocks.
makes
I
rocks.
wonder
Yeah.
if you could smoke it.
Maybe he was like a unicorn.
That's why they call it
Yeah.
crack, I guess. So, boom.
There it is.
Look
I
at
can't-
you. We're done. We're
I've told
done.
that story
That
for
was a
years.
beautiful episode. We're done.
World's best
Yeah.
dad jokes.
Yeah, so we haven't even talked about being a dad, right?
No, we haven't yet. We haven't
We
yet.
should.
We could go back
Yeah.
and talk about
So I'm
your dad.
How old is your
Oh,
daughter?
my dad, yeah.
And then we can go to you being
That's a
your
good
dad.
idea. My dad was he would do like I would say it's like performance art, but fueled by Budweiser. So it'd be like he would like put a cape on and then
Budman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he totally Budman. He'd put a cape on and then he had these rubber fishing boots,
Oh,
the
yeah,
waders.
Yep.
But he cut
Waiters.
the legs off them, so they just look like rubber lederhosen.
Yeah, I was gonna say lederhosen.
And he put the cape on, and he'd put a helmet, and then he'd say, "I'm gonna jump into this jar of mayonnaise." He'd get on top of the refrigerator, and like all the neighborhood, we'd all be screaming. As a little kid, I'd see him do this kind of stuff, and I'd cry. I'd be upset. And then it was always like, "Oh, that's Hellman's. We need Miracle Whip, but it won't work." And so-
I was gonna do it, but
or we had like a above ground pool, and he would get my brother's dirt bike and build a wooden ramp and go up and down it all day, like
like
how
he's
Evil-
gonna jump it.
Yeah, yeah, like
yeah.
Evil Kid
Feeling it out.
Yeah, how he would go up and down the
Yeah.
ramp to get the crowd nuts, and what my dad was doing was he was running it out of gas.
I was just about to.
So there's always something that stopped him
Yeah.
from doing
That's
these.
amazing.
Yeah, so my dad did that. And I saw that as a kid going, yeah, well, that's what you do. That's comedy. I never thought it was anything else. Like his commitment.
So you didn't know he had a mental issue? Is what we're getting at? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just comedy. That's what we're gonna do.
It's comedy. Why is dad?
That's what I'm doing.
Why is dad crying in the cornflakes? That's
Again.
comedy. He's
Yeah.
doing his comedy bit.
It's Thursday already? Yeah.
So we so you talk to my daughter who's 33 and she'll tell stories about lighting half a sticks of dynamite off in the backyard and stuff. And
Here's a fun fact for you. It's about kind of craziness when you lit the couch on fire.
Right.
I was there in the audience.
Are you
100%
serious?
swear to you.
Wow.
Swear, super random.
That's crazy.
Never gone to
What
one
were
of
you
my
thinking?
friend. I was like, yes.
Wait,
I was
for
stoked.
our listeners, let's walk our listeners through it. So.
But wait, so I think it's funny.
Yeah, I was there. I've never gone to one of those shows before or after.
What were you thinking? I
Yeah, he
Were
did
you
it.
there?
Sorry, I couldn't control myself. Yeah.
I lit the chair on fire on the Tonight Show, and
Yeah.
Was it
Jay Leno?
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno.
Right?
Yeah, and I got convicted of arson and
Yeah,
and stuff. So
there's
you
a lot of
saw
trouble.
like the stuff that got cut out.
I
Like
saw-
Jay yelling at me.
yeah, exactly.
Because he's like screaming. You know,
I
when he
don't
gets
think I heard
going.
him because the audience
Yeah,
was going
yeah.
crazy. But yeah, I was there. Yeah, but no one. It didn't seem
So
like
you
anyone
went to
was
the Jay
scared.
Leno show with friends.
Yeah,
and
with
just
a couple
so happened
friends.
to be
Yeah,
The
episode-
night that I
the
set
night
the
that
chair
you
on fire.
are turned into a felon.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what was the? Okay, there's your process. You're just going to have a good time.
Yeah.
But what was the?
There had to be a point where you're watching going, hey, this doesn't seem...
I was really young, so I
But
was
you-
like,
but did
I'd
you go-
never thought of like, oh, this whole place can catch on fire. I was just like,
No,
this
but
is
you had to
pretty
be like
insane.
going, this doesn't seem...
I was stoked. I was stoked.
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
You
Like,
didn't think like,
yes.
this doesn't seem planned.
Yeah.
This seems a little
Uh-oh.
weird. I
Yeah.
did say to my friend Tom, I was like, hey, man, stand by the fire extinguisher in case things get out of control.
So you knew you were
So
going
I
to do
had-
it.
Oh, yeah, because I
So it's
had...
premeditated, as they say, with your legal.
Well,
issues.
here's the thing. What made it arson was that I had taped on my wrist, like Travis Bickle, a lighter.
So
yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
But it's
Amazing.
a barbecue lighter.
that's
Oh,
insane.
that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's
And then I
great.
also was squeezing out lighter fluid. I had it in my
Yeah.
back pocket.
Oh, while you were talking, you were secretly squeezing.
I'm multitasking. I'm doing
Yeah,
panel.
You're good.
He's like, so
He's
what's
good.
going on with the Arsenio Hall the other day? You know, and I'm talking, and but meanwhile, I'm dousing the chair with lighter fluid.
Oh, because Arsenio Hall, you
I
had
had
like
smashed up
trashed
that
his
show.
stage too
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they
Oh, okay.
canceled the show.
Yeah, and I spray painted Paramount socks on the backdrop
Yeah.
and smashed. It caused way more damage on that show. It was like $3,000.
But he wanted you to, though, right?
Yeah, like he wrestled me down, and he was like, "going, thank you." But when we were watching, I was coloring my daughter Tasha. She was about 9 at the time, and it goes, "Comedian goes berserk on the
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall show," and Tasha goes, "Ugh."
So she was into drawing flames and fire a lot after that.
I was like, "What's
This is
wrong?"
what Daddy does.
She's like,
Yeah.
"No." She was like, "Sometimes you act like you don't have a brain in your head."
Your 9-year-old.
Your 9-year-old.
Yeah. And she
She
grew up
doesn't
with Lily Idol, who's Eric Idle's daughter, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
And I go, it's just comedy. She goes, it was comedy. It wouldn't be on the news. Lily's
Yeah.
dad's not on the news.
Usually comedy doesn't come with court dates.
yeah.
But you can see like that kind of stunt, like in your DNA from Budman, right?
Yeah.
From
From Dad Knievel.
yeah.
That's
definitely.
amazing.
Like,
So
yeah.
your dad was kind of obviously a joker and
Yeah, he
ran the shenanigans around the house.
But again, you know, my dad, it wasn't about cracking wise. You know, I didn't grow up like in the, you know, Joel Murray's my buddy, and you know, and all the Murray brothers, Bill, and all. You know, they're
Yeah.
very dry and funny and talk out of the side of their mouths. My family, it was just like these huge, elaborate, weird things. You know,
More
so
physical.
yeah, so it wasn't like we weren't pithy, you know, we weren't witty. We were just like, hey, wouldn't this be funny if we
Shockers.
Did this.
Yeah.
Which brings up another story that I think you told me a long time ago, but that's how you initially met Tom Kenny, right? Tom Kenny, the voice of
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy I've known since I was 6. And he
So you guys grew up in the same area, obviously. then.
yeah, but we went to the same school, Catholic
crazy.
school, and at first grade, I'm not sure. I annoyed a nun to the point where she was in tears, and she dragged me into his classroom, and there's this little fat kid, and she's like, "I can't take him anymore." and Tom thought it was
You
really
broke a nun.
yeah. And Tom thought it was cool that I could make a nun cry,
Yeah.
so he introduced me.
He was
at lunch.
impressed with
Yeah.
I
your
thought
skills.
it was something about like, you know, you like shocked yourself or tased yourself or electrocuted yourself or something like that, and Tom took you to the hospital or something like
Not
that.
at 6 years old.
I don't know about yeah, I don't know what that story is, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't say that couldn't have happened.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But you've known Tom forever.
I've known Tommy since we were little boys together, and it's funny, you know, I'm working on the script right now, and I'm remembering we were doing stand up like when we were 15 or younger, but like in between bands and just amateur contests.
He still plays in a band too,
yeah, he's
right?
got a band. Yeah, Tom Kenny in the High Seas, kind of doing the roots music. When we were kids, he always liked roots music, and meaning that like although he'd listen to Adam Ant and stuff like that, but he listened to like Muddy Waters and all that kind of stuff, and then I would be the one listening to the Ramones and the what was considered punk rock.
Yeah.
It's like, punk rock sucks. That Blondie's horrible. It's like, yeah, that's
Devo.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Devo is punk
Yeah.
rock.
That was like an
Rebels.
insult when I was a kid.
Exactly.
If someone called you a Devo,
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
basically calling you like
A lame.
a bad word.
Yeah.
I remember having the first Devo album when my brother Jimmy had fell asleep, maybe, I don't know, but he smashed into a fruit stand right out of like a produce stand, like right out of a Disney film, a vegetable stand,
And chickens. And
yeah, there was
Glass.
actually like cucumbers wedged into the grill and stuff. And so my dad's on the phone, and he's mad upstairs, and I'm
Wait,
like,
your dad's mad?
well, he didn't
You
see
should
the
have told me. It was
comedy
a gag,
yet.
Dad. It was a
Yeah,
gag.
It is a comedy. It's comedy 101. It's
Yeah.
like getting mad at somebody. I got in a pie fight. So
Yeah.
You're a fruit stand.
yeah, he did. He drew it through so I'm like, are you all right? That's my dad, and I'm like, how's the Devo album? Because I was worried he had borrowed my Devo album.
It was in the car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I was wearing
Yeah.
a seatbelt.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Devo
There's
album
a
is
cucumber
fine.
wedged into it.
Yeah, but so we grew up, Tommy and I, and best friends and bands and doing comedy, and it's so weird. It's now we're 57, so I mean, knowing someone for 51 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy. And still doing stuff together.
Still hanging out.
Yeah.
It's still like sometimes we were recording an animated thing one day, and it got to the point where we're just like going, and making fart noises and
nonsense.
stuff. And I go,
Yeah.
this could have been the first day we met. Nothing
has changed.
Yeah, we're
It's the same thing.
making
Making nuns cry.
a lesser known Prince song.
Yeah.
That's the sound.
Making
of nuns
nuns
Yeah, that's
cry.
the B-side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When nuns
When
cry.
nuns cry.
When nuns cry.
Purple tears.
Comedy is born.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Lifelong
Amazing.
friendships are born.
Now,
And then you have a daughter, Tasha.
Tasha, yeah. So I kind of think like I did not ever intend this, but like when she often refers to me to people as their best friend, and I'll say she's my best friend, but it's like that wasn't my goal when she was growing up. It was always.
But that
even-
means you win. Like, you're a good dad.
I guess
That's what it means, because a lot of parents and kids...
they go the other way.
Yeah.
But when she was growing up, and despite her having a very peculiar childhood and stuff, it was not being her friend wasn't important to me. When because I did know that I still had to, we had to do homework, we had to be there.
Yeah.
The time. That's the thing. It's like you're gonna mess up everything, but the amount of time you spend with a kid. So she'd be on the road with me sometimes, and it was like Paper Moon,
Yeah.
And she goes, "This club suck." I go, "I don't know." And she'd be like,
What's the vibe on this club,
yeah,
Dad?
9 or 10, and she'd be in the back in the comedy clubs and stuff. So, yeah, so I for me, that's the thing is the time is more important than anything, and try and not worrying about if your kids like you when they're young.
Right. That's a good
Yeah.
point. I think you have to find some kind of balance, because you can't be your kid's best friend when they're young.
No.
Because when they're young, they
No.
need you to guide them.
They
Yeah,
need some
and-
stability
and-
and guidance.
And I would see those parents when my kid was growing up who wanted to be the cool parent or the hip parent or the liked parent.
Right.
I remember once when she was, we really got along most of the time, but just, I mean, the kids, especially a girl, will rebel. Everybody rebels, but think you're an idiot.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my oldest daughter.
That's, I believe,
when she hit-
teenagers, right?
When she hit like
Yeah.
13,
Yeah.
from 13 to like 17,
Yeah.
I was an idiot.
And I thought like,
I
she
kind of
hated me.
I kind of experienced that with my son is 13. I took him and his buddies to a movie, and I thought, like, I'm gonna joke around with them. They were just all like, And he didn't want to sit by me. He wanted to go sit with his buddy, so I had to sit by one of his friends. I was like, no, you're at least
so
sitting
weird.
here.
Yeah.
I was like, it was a single tear moment.
Yeah,
Just like,
that's
I'm the funny, fun dad. And
I
they're
was taking her there. Yeah, it was like 13 to 16, and also one day she just came downstairs, was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Who's that?"
She's talking to me.
It was that drastic when we suddenly were cool again, but it was. Her friends, it was a birthday party thing, and I go, hey, I got you guys Moulin Rouge if you want to see it. I don't know what was wrong with that. She rolled her eyes like I was the biggest idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my
Dad,
gosh.
no one's
Baz
watching
Luhrmann,
that anymore.
Dad, please.
I don't know what it was. And so then, but what was really funny, and then we all went out that night, and it was at the height of Frankie B's, those jeans, and it would be like they were very low. So here's these tweens wearing these very low jeans with their muffin tops hanging out, and I just took a picture behind them, and then like recently said, hey, remember the Moulin Rouge? She didn't remember any of that. I go, this is what you guys thought looked good. Like I played the long game, man.
That's great.
That is a real long game.
You just kept it away.
It was almost 20
Is it ready yet? No, it's not time to bust this photo up.
No, yeah.
No, it's good. The timing's good because I think if you would have revealed the photo any earlier, it could have been really creepy. But perfect.
Creepy, and then also creepy, and also a
Hey,
little.
remember this photo?
Yeah, a little creepy, and a little bitchy. Like, but here I'm like, this is what you guys thought looked good.
Yeah,
Well,
my looked way better than that in those jeans.
It's cool because last time I saw you and Tasha together, you guys were just coming off of doing Misfits and Monsters, and it was cool because there was a big gap between when we had actually hung out.
Right.
So last time I saw Tasha,
She's
was
a kid.
Like, she's a kid catching a cat out of a tree in the Super Red video.
Well, she still gets a lot of heat off Aquabats playing her birthday party when she was 9.
Yeah,
They still talk about it. Like her and her friends do.
Still got street cred.
Her friend that was there went on to be the singer of Cobra Starship.
I
don't remember her name. So anyway.
Yeah.
But whatever. What I thought was cool is you guys actually work together too. So.
We work together. We're she's the costume designer on the things I make, but she's got her own career. Like she's got at Sundance this year. There's a docuseries that she's the costume designer on called McMillions. So she works on other things. Like she'll work, like on Twin Peaks and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it ends up being a shorthand that I didn't think about. Where like the colors and stuff.
I'm offending working with family. Right
No,
now,
but it's true.
It's true.
It's really weird. Like I overheard her saying, "Yeah, this should be, like the movie Radio Days," and I thought, "Oh, I must have told her that," and then I had never told her that. She just knew that was like the colors we were going for on that episode. So yeah, it's a shorthand, I don't really see a downside of it because we do work really well.
Yeah, and I think people often think, Hollywood or it's all nepotism, but they're totally looking past that, what you just said. And the point is that there's a shorthand that you have with family, and whether it's a daughter or a son or your brothers. Like I work with my brothers all the time, and we just know what we're thinking, and
you know what you're thinking. Also, they're going to be passionate about it.
That's right.
It's it's like Jimmy Kimmel. It's like he's got so much of his family and relatives working over there. But the other thing is I'll say this not about Jimmy, but about me. It's like I have lots of friends and family that aren't talented, and I don't hire them. Because they're knuckleheads.
You're not MC Hammer in it?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No MC Hammer here.
Yeah.
Gold faucet up there. With your third cousin up there.
That's the thing. I'm not going to have somebody who can't do the job.
Right.
But my brother's a first AD. I work with him sometimes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it'll be funny. It'll be like, hey, man, you're really losing the light. And I'm like, why did Dad give you a car?
I didn't get a car.
We're going to do this now?
Now
we're going to do this because I don't care if the sun goes down.
It seems like you're always playing the long game. Then the photo, the car.
The Maverick. Yeah. I have a Rolodex of resentments that I just go... Oh, here it is.
Here it is.
So expect something in 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
payoff.
Oh, Christian.
Oh, it's
yeah,
coming.
yeah,
It's coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
2032.
getting
He's
cozy
got it
again,
planned
so he
out.
could just sing
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so fun. So you just finished a documentary about
No, I
Barry
did
Crimmins?
the documentary Barry Crimmins called "Call Me Lucky." That was out a while ago. That was like at Sundance and all that. Sundance, but
No big deal. Marty Scorsese.
I don't know
was
if
there.
you know about this. It's called Sundance.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen the article Marty talks
Marty
about me?
Marty talks about
Yeah.
me. It was funny. I was reading that article when I was on my way to Sundance, and no, so
In a private jet.
and
Yeah.
so I'm turning that movie into a narrative movie, a film with Judd Apatow. That's what I've been working on right now. But I work on all different things. I just worked with Mo Willems on. Do you know who he is? Children's author. The pigeon.
Yeah.
Don't let the pigeon drive the bus.
Right.
So
That's good advice, actually.
it is a solid plan.
Yeah.
And then we shot like a big concert live with comedians playing the parts in the books.
Oh, cool.
The pigeon may not showed up. I don't want to
Are
ruin
they
it
doing
for
something
people.
for Netflix with Mo Willems, or is it an
I don't know what,
animated?
I don't know where
thing,
that. I don't know what he's up to. We did this live thing and it was at the Kennedy Center. It was crazy.
Whoa.
And it was 4,000 kids.
Crazy.
And I loved it. Well, you know better than I. Like, it's so funny with kids. It's like people people in the booth are going, the kids are going on stage, and I'm like, and they go,
Cool.
I go, get them off the stage.
Yeah.
I go, no, this is awesome.
Let 'em
it's
go.
drunk sailors.
That's
They're
right.
just losing their minds.
That's right.
And it's about them. That's why they
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that, because your music is for both the kids and the parents. There was something here the kids like knew, this is for us, and it was even a little more possessive.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I feel like at Aquabats it's more like you guys are welcome, the kids are welcome,
Yeah,
but this is for you.
this is for you specifically.
Yeah.
Which was something, I mean, even with Yo Gabba Gabba we did that was for the kids first, but we definitely
You
had
tooted your horn,
parents
now
in
it's his turn.
mind.
Yeah, a little thing
Yeah.
called Yo Gabba Gabba.
Sorry.
When I created Yo
didn't-
Gabba Gabba, it came to me.
Look, Martin Scorsese wrote an article.
You know.
About Yo Gabba
About-
Gabba.
Tom
All right,
Hanks
all right, we're
mentioned me
changing
on
this.
Twitter once.
I did
Yeah.
meet Tom Hanks.
I was
at
tweeted by the
the
Hankster.
Television Critics Awards, and he
Did he watch
he
Yo
was
Gabba
being
Gabba?
so cool. He's like, I haven't actually seen the show. He was being really nice, but taken out of context, what he said could sound like such a jerky
What
thing
did
to
he
say.
say?
He
He
said,
overheard him going, "Get this guy out of here."
No, like the guy playing Muno, like the big
Yeah.
Cyclops character, was walking around shaking hands, and Tom Hanks, he goes, that could have
told
been
me
me.
this.
That could have been me.
Yeah.
And we were like, huh? He's like, I would have taken any job. I would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
I would have
yeah,
done
yeah.
anything to be an actor, and I would have done that.
Yeah.
And coming from Tom Hanks,
So that
that's
loser-
cool, that's cool. But
that
then,
loser
you could
could've
turn
been
it
me.
into like. So what you're saying is that guy's
Yeah.
a total idiot.
Yeah.
But
Or
he
is
was
he
just saying his career could have taken.
I could have been
different-
Mac the Knife.
That's that's
Who
true.
ended up being I was thinking of his name last night.
Max Headroom.
No, that I know Max. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to name drop.
Yeah.
You know Alf?
I never met Elf, but
Heard he's cool.
why isn't my brain working? Who played Max? I was in Disney Hercules.
Yeah, yeah,
and
Pain and
Matt
Panic.
Fewer. Matt Fewer.
I used to watch
was-
that with my nephew.
That's right. He did.
Yeah, Matt Fewer's hilarious. He's really brilliant and crazy. But I liked working with him a lot.
He was the other voice of the
Yeah,
little
yeah.
dudes
Yeah.
In the
and-
Hercules.
in Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who was Mac the Knife?
Mac the Knife was, I'm forgetting his name. He's that very thin actor. He's a mime and an actor. He does things in The Shape of Water. He was the creature.
Oh yeah. I can't remember.
Oh,
his
I
name.
don't.
He's also Mac the Knife. But by the way, there's definitely a time where I would have been like, hey man, I'm Mac the Knife.
Hell yeah! I am Mac the Knife.
I would be so happy, you know.
Or what about Carlos El Zaraki? He's the voice of the Chihuahua on the
And,
Taco Bell commercials.
Yeah.
Yo
Yo
quiero
quiero
Taco
Taco Bell.
He
That's true.
doesn't have
Yeah.
a problem telling
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Got that Taco Bell money, baby.
Well, I did a Snickers commercial with Rob and Williams and everybody, and he's like, they're gonna call and just tell them no. And I was like, what? He goes, just tell, because he said I need Bobcat Goldthwait in this commercial. So I go, no, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
And then And then they call back, and I go, no. And he goes, what are you doing? I go, I keep telling him no. He goes, no, just tell him no once, because he's getting the money jacked up.
Yeah.
And he goes, take the money. I go, oh, okay. So, by the way, I'd like to say Snickers is a really good candy bar.
Still endorsing it.
I just remember
we love it here.
So it's in his contract.
I
It's
just
a
remembered I
20-year
signed a thing
contract.
saying
Yeah.
I would never say anything.
Yeah.
Of course, anything bad.
And it's a great candy bar.
It's a great candy.
Since,
Great candy.
since you touched on Robin Williams, like,
So-
what's some rad Robin Williams stories that people don't
Well,
know?
and that
like,
thing was funny.
yeah, that
was-
is good. Like, hey,
was-
get yourself and us some more money. Just
No, but
keep
he's
saying
like,
no.
he's like, they're going to ask you to do the voice. And I go, for the amount of money Snickers is paying.
Yeah.
Right.
you can do anything you want with that
Yeah.
Snickers bar.
Yeah.
So, but when we were doing it, I had there's a scene in the candy bar commercial where I'm on top of a cheerleading pyramid. So they put me in a harness. Do you know what I mean? So basically, so I wouldn't crush the cheerleaders, I think. So they put me in the harness, and so they're filming my piece. So Robin gets wrapped, and I've got this white unitard. Unitards is the theme today. So white unitard under, so it doesn't chafe
You were
me.
creating cocaine.
So
Yeah.
so don't make
Man crack.
Making
So
cocaine.
don't make
Yeah.
man crack.
Yeah.
So it's basically to protect my nipples is from the harness. And so Robin comes in just before we're leaving. He says good night, and I'm in this one unit, this onesie
It's
thing.
like, what
right?
commercial are you in?
So the next
Yeah.
day, he calls up and he's like, so why did they put you in a fat suit? And I was like, it wasn't a fat
Ouch.
suit. And
Yeah.
he goes, Rebecca, you're right, it's not a fat suit. he had an argument going.
Oh,
with
that's so good. A
with
bet.
his
Yeah.
assistant. He's like, Rebecca, it wasn't a fat suit. You're right. So no, we were really, really close, and I miss him every day. And I will say this, and I'm speaking a lot more about it. For the longest time, I wouldn't talk about him or do interviews or something. But he had Lewy body dementia, which is a dementia, and it was misdiagnosed as Parkinson's. So I mean, like, I think, and I don't mean to trivialize anybody who lost someone through suicide or depression and things like that, but just to clear up the fact that his brain was not processing reality correctly anymore. Almost like, just think of like a hyper version of like Alzheimer's or something. So, and we didn't know it. And he's got multiple doctors. He's got people that love him. And I was talking to him almost every day and stuff. But you don't know what's going on. So I feel like I think he got this misinformation, just as he got other misinformation in the course of the day, and that's why he took his life. I mean, that's just what I feel. And again, I'm not saying anything, I'm not criticizing people who do take their own life and things, but I just like people to know that he beat his depression and he beat anything he had with alcohol or drugs. It wasn't like he's like, oh, my career,
Yeah, that's
it was
right.
if you've been around anybody with dementia, you know that they don't process reality correctly. So I, not to be a downer, but I do like people knowing that he had Lewy body dementia, because most people didn't.
Yeah.
Even
I
those
didn't.
around him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and of course the way we all hear about it in the press, talking about it,
Exactly.
they blow things out and make it seem some.
They want to angle, and and that's the nature of us. Just it's easier to just say, oh, this person was on drugs, or this person was fighting depression, and but that's not the case. And I jokingly say, like, well, it's like I knew I was close to him because I'd spent hours bored out of my mind, because he'd play Call of Duty. and
That's a fun fact.
And he'd be cursing, and I'm like, how
yelling
old
at 8-year-olds.
That's exactly. I go, how old are these people? He goes, I don't know, 12, 13. And so I love that. He's just
That's so good.
I think the genie just told me that, I think Mrs. Doubtfire
There goes
just
my
told
wishes.
me to do something really unpleasant.
Cover me. I'm going in.
Yeah, so
Sound like Mork.
I think Mork just told me to F off.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I miss him. The thing about when you lose anybody is, especially that way, you almost feel like if you carry on with your life, or if you're happy, you're betraying them. But it's taken me a long time to realize that's not the case. And also because they would want you to be happy. But the other thing is just like, you kind of think someday you're going to be better, but it's just some days it's just like well, you know, show business stuff. You don't see somebody and then they call you. Like I'm still just waiting for him to call. You know, just to, you know, or something happens and I want to tell him about it. You know.
Yeah, we have a friend who took his own life too, Scott. And I know what you're saying for sure. It's
feel like one day they're just gonna be there. And
Yeah.
He was always around. I wouldn't see him for months, and he'd just show up at my parents' house and just. It was just always there.
I would really just think, you know, he's off doing another Jumanji or something. You know, some movie that took a million months.
And you're great friends with him, but for someone, I only met him once or twice. I think for just that one time that you brought him to one of our shows.
Yeah, brought him to the show.
The Aquabat shows. And
he's like, get us out of here, Pop.
It was a small backstage. And you just couldn't help but talk. You had to talk
loved
to him.
it. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and he had like a lot of stuff to say, and anything we would say, he was so quick and fast, and just had all this. Like he couldn't help but make jokes.
But there would be, you know, the Aquabats would be totally in his wheelhouse. I mean, you know, he loved toys. He loved.
So he would love this junk.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean,
this gold.
This guy. Yeah.
Skateboards and.
He loved that Mr. T make.
Mr. T.
We have a Mork doll. We should have brought it.
I did a movie called Freaked where I worked with Mr. T. And,
oh, really? When I was 18.
Alex Winter,
Tom Stern. Yeah.
I love
when I was 18, I went to a comic book store and he signed comics and stuff. And
Mr. T and the T-Force?
Yeah. Yep. I have the issue 1. Yeah.
So here's my Mr. T
1992.
story. Real quick, Mr. T story.
What year was that?
92.
Okay.
I don't want to admit that I was a child actor, but I was. So sorry, I'm just admitting.
Well,
Here we go.
It's still not gonna be any worse than my name dropping.
So one day,
were you on your way
Mr.
to
T was on Silver?
Con, or?
He was on Silver Spoons.
Yeah.
And we shot right over here on Universal.
Oh,
and
Universal.
he was like doing a cameo on Silver Spoons.
Yeah. I'll start picking this stuff up for you. But go ahead. Continue.
Because I'm name dropping so hard.
Yeah.
The Ricker,
anyway,
Ricky Schroeder.
We were at the commissary, and he had seen us around because all the Facts of Life kids and the kids acted. We all had school together, so it's Jason Bateman and Ricky Schroeder, and we all did our school
weird.
together. And so Mr. T was sitting at the commissary, and he was all, "Hey, Chris, come over here," because we'd met just.
So is this the Hulkster now, or is this Mr. T?
No, I didn't do it very good.
Yeah. Come here, brother.
He's trying not to be racist.
You take your vitamins.
I'm not. He has a gruff voice. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had lunch with Mr. T.
Yeah.
Right. We had lunch, and he was asking me questions.
Oh, that's nice.
He was really personable, and super. And I'm like, "This Mr. T,
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah.
So he's like, "Well, Christian, I won't try to imitate his voice because I don't want to be accused."
Well, Christian.
Well, Christian,
Well, Christian, how are you today?
I've got to go. But you have a great day. And he gets up and he takes off running. Okay. Now you've been
jogging time.
You've been to the if you've been to the commissary, you know like.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's those hills like right over here.
And
he ran up a hill, like almost to the top. So where all that stuff is at the top of Universal Studios.
Superhero.
You know where the studios are down here.
Yeah.
He ran like straight up the hill,
to a
and
mountain.
Everybody stopped eating and to watch him like run up the hill. And as soon as he got to the hill and you couldn't see him anymore, it was like a movie. Everyone went back to what they were
It was so.
I was hoping they'd start clapping.
Yeah, I wish I could blow it away.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that. Christian, I gotta go now. Have a good day. Boom! He just took off.
But what
running.
show were you on that?
I was on a show called Gloria with Sally Struthers.
Oh, sure.
It was a spin-off of Archie Bunker.
And how old were you?
10.
So
9,
you
10
played
years old. Joey Stivic.
Joey Stivic,
Yeah, so that was, I think it was only on for less than 2 seasons. It was like a season and a half.
Right.
That's why Martin Scorsese will never talk about you.
He'd never talk about me. Never.
No, but my buddy Daryl Sabera, who was in World's Greatest, he played, what was the show that my brain's really not working, and that's terrible because I had a concussion recently and I'm nervous.
Was it he played the main kid in the show?
No, he played the baby on, what was the show that was all controversial because she was a single mom? Murphy Brown.
Murphy Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the Murphy Brown baby.
Oh, he was the Murphy Brown baby.
He was the Murphy Brown baby. So I thought it was funny that I knew the two guys that were. I mean, Joey was a huge deal.
Yeah. So weird enough, the guys that actually played the babies, the Joey Stivic babies on the show, they went to school with my wife.
Oh,
and I met him one time, and it was like a Joey.
The
and they were
Joey
twins.
Joeys.
Yeah. So it was like 2 twin
The Joey Mint
super
twins.
tall blonde guys and me in the middle was like this Joey
But they had
triangle.
the Adam the correct the body dolls, right?
Yeah. Oh yes, I have one on my desk.
It's not cool, man.
They have the anatomically correct baby dolls.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that anymore.
We got to put it in
I'm
here.
pretty sure you can't do that
It's
anymore.
really
Yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah. It
I
is.
mean, it's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's what it is.
It's a boy doll with
In,
the
in
boy
today's world,
stuff.
it's weird, but it's not
but,
weird.
But
No.
Joey,
In
that
Europe,
was
it's fine.
Yeah.
the broad-minded
South America,
Parisians.
yeah.
The Paris people.
Yeah.
They all right. So, boy, we really strayed from fatherhood.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, we went. Well, we actually did it. We came all
didn't.
the way around.
See?
Yeah,
There you go. We're
babies.
talking about
Changing
babies now.
diapers. Yeah,
Babies.
babies.
So
So Tasha, being your
Right.
daughter,
right.
does that bring any kind of like maybe you'll be a grandfather
Oh.
someday soon? Not soon, but
I
maybe.
think someday soon. I mean, she's been with the same fella for a long time. He's a really good guy. I like him a lot.
Do you
So,
want me to talk to him?
hey, what are you gonna make? No, because it's
Bobcat needs to be a grandfather.
here's
Get
the
it
thing.
going, guys.
Here's the
Come on,
thing.
guys.
Here's the thing. I like babies, and I
Yeah.
would be happy, but my ego does not want to be
You
a
don't wanna be a
grandfather.
grandpa?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
truly think of myself as 40s, which you could be a grandfather then, but
Yeah.
then I see myself. I'm so depressed.
And he's like, damn, am I a great grandfather?
I'm like,
No offense.
but like I hear people talk, and then I get interviewed. People go, as an older person, and I'm like, what are you
Hey,
saying?
shut up.
When did
Yeah.
this happen?
Martin Scorsese talked about me.
Yeah, but who am I kidding?
Yeah.
I'm closer to 60 than I am 50.
It's so crazy.
And then I'll be getting my AARP cards all the time still and stuff.
You get that Denny's special too. That discount.
But I think like being behind the camera is a little, you can kind of age and no one, like Carl Reiner was directing way up until, his 70s, 80s. So,
That's true. Well, you look great.
Oh, Pshaw. We started out, we went good, then I got really heavy, and now we're talking about me shifting up to some Mortal Coil.
No, I
fine.
think it's great. I think we had some great, we talked about some great stuff.
And my advice as far as being a good dad is you are going to mess up. It's all about how much time. Knowing that you're always there, is the biggie.
Yeah.
I tell you, when she went to college, that was weird feeling.
So
because,
weird.
It's like if she called up, I couldn't be there. Or, she was on the other side of the country. Which I think was good for her because she grew up in Los Angeles. And, I mean, she was never like a partying kid or had trouble that way. But just growing up with your sense of reality, And it's like, she was never entitled. But there's just something strange when you're in school with the Olsen twins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
strange. What's
There's
strange?
cocaine's falling out of their purses.
No, it's strange that
totally.
that it's not.
It's a
weird.
surreal reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when she went back to school back east, she would actually not even say she was from Los Angeles. She
Yeah.
learned that quick because it was all like, you're from Hollywood. You
Yeah.
know?
really, Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood.
You're gonna have a salad with your
No.
lunch. Yeah, I like salad.
Yeah, like salad. Hollywood. Yeah.
Well, we eat cheese out here.
Yeah.
We don't even have salads here, boy.
We have chicken
she go to
fried
school?
salad. She went to Hampshire College, which is in Western Massachusetts. So it wasn't. It was It's a very broad-minded pocket of Northampton and stuff. I mean, that's like where certainly like Sonic Youth has connections there, but like Dinosaur Jr. and
Okay.
There's a lot of bands
Yeah.
that came out of there.
Jay
Yeah,
Mascis.
he skated my ramp.
He's.
once.
I think he still
Really?
lives there.
Yeah, he used to skateboard. He probably still might. I don't know. In the late '80s, he came over to my house and skateboarded.
Really?
the ramp,
Love
yeah,
Dinosaur
with
Jr.
O.
And were you like
buddies.
trying to like act like?
I was really
cool?
young and I wasn't that aware of a lot of music,
okay.
so I didn't really know who he was. But then later I got into him and I was like, that was pretty cool.
Skated
Got to skate with Jay
my-
Mascis. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When we started hanging out, you were just coming off fresh touring with Nirvana. Right?
Yeah, I did dates to opening for Nirvana.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is always like, people are like, oh, if someone finds out you're a comic, they're always like, their biggest fear is being heckled. You know what I mean? Like, what would it be like? You get heckled. It's like, I got hit with M80s, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Open for Nirvana. I never thought like I'm gonna go out there and blow their faces off, and they're gonna forget all about the Nirvanas. You know,
They're gonna forget why they came here.
yeah, they're gonna see Bobcat.
It's the Bobcat hour.
So I would go out there, and about every third show would go well, but everyone, you know, a lot of them. Like, I remember they successfully threw a kid out of the pit at me,
That's amazing.
Like I was
Out of tomatoes, throw a small boy.
Yeah, so I was walking in the back of my knees, and there's this kid crab walked off the stage.
That's insane.
It broke his hips on the way up.
So how did that happen? They approached you approached them?
Well, Kurt interviewed me at a college radio station in Ann Arbor before they broke. He liked my stand-up.
Oh, okay.
So he was a fan of mine, so that's how that happened. It was
Yeah,
weird. It
that's
was like a
awesome.
year and a half later. Like, I remember listening to the Bleach CD because he gave me a copy and going, man, rock is really hard because these guys are good and you're never going to hear from them. And then Smash cut.
These poor kids.
Smash
Thanks
cut
for the
me getting
CD,
a
pal.
boot in the head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Hey,
wow.
shut up. I'll
Yeah.
keep talking. You ever see the Nirvana?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, so I did I don't even know, like 13 shows, maybe more with him and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty
toured
rad.
around. I got to know him a little bit, you know, like some nights we would we would sit up all night talking and got to know him a little bit and liked him. Very sweet guy, you know. I remember once the fire alarm went off in Chicago. I had nothing to do with it, so
That's your dad coming out.
start
Yeah.
one fire,
Yeah.
and I remember.
Check his pockets actually.
I remember he and I just being in the hallway, and he had like his clothes in his hands. Not like he just
Well, he's
grabbed.
an artist.
He had all, but it was like that iconic Freddy Krueger sweater. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's like these are the things I'm going to take with me. And he's just like, "What's going on?" I go, "I think I'm gonna go back in." You know, so
I'm pretty sure it's a false alarm.
yeah. Fire Chief
good.
Bob Scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I remember when I was touring too, I remember flying all the way back to take my daughter to a skating party in the middle of the tour. It was
Amazing.
really weird. Like I'm
Yeah.
going around on this ice skating rink. And I'm hearing Nirvana over the sound system. It was just so strange. And you couldn't say to your kid, like, that's the band your dad.
Yeah, because they're going to be like, what? Who
What?
cares?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just keep
Yeah.
skating.
Dad, let's skate.
Yeah. But, you know, I would take my daughter to see people like Iggy Pop and things like that when she was too young. I should not have because she rebelled and went total Britney Spears on me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she had a real pop taste. But
Yeah.
but later on, like now, she's who's quite often who, like even on my soundtracks, there's a lot of music and stuff that she'll turn me on to, and then
that's
it ends
cool.
up in the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. I mean, just bringing it all together, you know, as a parent, you were saying, just giving your kids time, and don't be their best friend, and let them have time, and they'll kind of come into
Spend
their
your
own.
time.
Yeah.
You're gonna mess up with your advice or example.
So I shouldn't base it off the Cats in the Cradle. Is what you're telling me.
Yeah, the Cat's in the
So I
Cradle.
should throw that CD out.
Yeah,
Is that
don't
what we're
do
getting
what
at?
he did.
Yeah. My son's in 10 just the other day.
We'll get together soon. Because it goes fast, man. They
Yeah.
go fast.
No,
Yeah.
totally.
The cool thing, I think, from our perspective, because our kids are, you know, younger than Tasha, is to see that you guys are best friends and you still have a really great relationship. You're working together, and you know she's in her 30s, early 30s.
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty awesome.
Totally.
Yeah, and it's
That's a win for sure.
Total win.
it's like even like you know when we text and talk and you know we went on a family vacation for the holidays. You know her fella and the gal I see and her that's so crazy. You
Yeah,
know?
totally
And my
weird.
stepson
Yeah.
too.
You're
We all-
adults
It was
now.
really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
What, your
adults
stepson?
vacationing.
Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor, yeah.
Taylor
How's he
lives.
doing?
He's good. He lives up in Portland. So, yeah. I mean, it's just we all went scuba diving, which is really fun.
With the mermaids,
Yeah.
and the alligators.
no, we went.
Did you
well,
paint
here's
anybody?
here's what we learned. We were underwater scuba diving, and the guy who's with us gives us the shark sign. You know, this means there's a shark, and he goes like this. So in my head, it's like, hey, go see the shark.
Yeah. Oh, killer! Thanks for the thanks for the heads
I
up.
really did.
Yeah.
I learned I swim towards the sharks.
And he's like,
Yeah.
No. I swam to the shark, and then the shark turns around, and I go, there's GoPro footage of me going like this, trying to get away from the shark.
the shark was like,
Floundering.
oh.
Yeah.
I said that to my agent. I go, yeah, I learned I swim towards the shark. He goes, yeah, I know that for 30 years. You've been swimming towards the
Yeah.
shark.
What do you think the Jay Leno couch was all about?
Yeah. It's just like, I
Yeah.
think it's so weird you were in the audience.
It's super random. Yeah.
Like my concern is like, what were you thinking? Were you thinking this guy's gonna kill us all? Or
No, again, I
just
thought it was
kind
like
of
funny.
funny.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know if it was like unplanned or whatever.
I
so
thought it
was
was
just like,
kinda
oh,
like-
this is
like-
You weren't a
rad.
dad, so you weren't thinking like,
Yeah,
we'll
it
all
was-
die. You were
yeah.
like
Yeah.
a punk rock skateboarder kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
go.
all right.
Righteous, man. Righteous.
Yeah, totally.
Get it, Bobcat.
Like setting your board on fire.
Yeah. I almost threw something at Jay. No.
Jay, let
Yeah.
him burn it. Let
him
him burn it. Let
down.
it burn.
It's already started, Jay. Come on, let's finish it.
That's fun. Well, I
yeah.
hope that as a dad you continue to swim towards the shark, proverbially.
That's
Yeah.
what I say. Swim towards the shark. Thanks. So nice meeting you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Great
Bobcat,
seeing
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
And,
And
thank you. And thanks.
thanks for everybody for listening. And make sure and check out all our smash buttons and all that likes.
Yeah, all of it.
Oh yeah.
The YouTubes
Whatever the
and
kids say.
whatever those kids are saying, just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Ow! Out.
Ow.